Hello everyone, my name is Svetlana Klimova and I'm a full-time master degree student in Spanish and English as foreign and second languages at the University of Alicante. And I was double lucky to attend TESOL-Spain's 41st annual convention, which was beautifully titled The Heart in the Art of Teaching, within language, culture, and communities, which took place in Universidad Complutense de Madrid from 9th of March till 11th of March 2011. And why double lucky? Well, first of all, although I had been teaching English for almost a decade, I'd never actually attended a conference or event of such a kind. Um, yeah, it might be because I had long been a busy freelance teacher, not really associated with any educational institution or school. And so you kind of, when you teach for yourself and you're self-employed, you kind of lose touch with different things that's going on around in your sphere. And when I first learned about the opportunity of attending a conference and convention of such a kind, I immediately wanted to go because for me it was a really good opportunity to expand my knowledge and experience. And secondly, why I was lucky because I won a grant. I won a student grant to attend this conference, to attend this convention, and I'm extremely grateful to TESOL-Spain for this opportunity. Because I have met so many interesting and extremely experienced professionals in the ELT sphere, in the sphere of teaching English as a foreign or second language. And for me, it was like seriously a breath of fresh air because I had long been willing to immerse myself to experience such a community of like-minded people, colleagues that have something important to say and to share with other colleagues, actually exactly with like-minded people. And yeah, again, as I said before, because you are teaching for like when you're self-employed, you sometimes miss this colleague chat, like or sharing experiences, practices, activities, or you want to ask for advice and you don't have anyone who you could turn to and ask for a piece of advice or share whatever you have to share. So this experience for me was really enlightening and I can say enriching in different senses. Yes, this word. Not only did I get a chance to attend speeches, yes, and workshops and talks on contemporary issues that are going on in the sphere of ELT. I also got to know so many wonderful colleagues of mine who were not speakers, but were also attending and were present at this conference, and we shared our experience, and that was really also amazing and enriching for me, something that I really wanted to experience because, as I said before, especially when you're living in a new culture and this culture is Spanish, you sometimes lose the feeling of the English language sometimes takes a second position. I mean, it's not one of the first languages that I use because of the Spanish culture. And so you start to use Spanish on a daily basis rather than, of course, English. Yeah. So I would like to talk a little bit more now about the wonderful talks that and workshops that I attended, and which were really something that actually switched something in me, and it was like like bubble light, yeah, moment. Because yeah, again, sometimes when you're self-employed, or when you have never attended a conference of such a kind, you feel like kind of stuck, and the only self-improvement that you do is just you stuck up on these bookmarks that you have. You have different web resources of different pages of I don't know, English lessons or podcasts or something, which is good on one hand, but still you do need like a fresh breath of someone else. I mean, like you really need to see another perspective. Yeah, it all started like it was organized really very well. I cannot complain because it was really nicely organized, and the layout of the premises, of the conference premises, were really convenient. So you always knew where to go, and you could never actually get lost. And in these terms, and sometimes we had some technical problems. It didn't really influence or affected my impressions of the conference and convention itself. Yeah, I really liked the Maria Heron's workshop on 6 yum ingredients to motivate learners, and which was really like inspiring to me, because she showed us practical exercises. For example, we were given a piece of plasticine, or sometimes they call it dough, yeah, or clay, depending on which country you're in. So we were given a piece of this plasticine, and we were told to make out of this plasticine something that represents our hobby. Is something that we like to do in our free time. And then in pairs or in groups, we had to ask each other questions in order to realize, to find out what our peers or colleagues' hobbies are. And it was really funny because it's funny because you get to do something with your hands, which is not really linguistically related. But at the same time, you feel like you're going back to your childhood, and you feel like, wow, this is really interesting and funny. And also, she suggested doing a lot of exercises or activities, we can say, using our mobile cell phones. And we do not have to prohibit them, but rather use them, utilize them, get them practical application in our classrooms. I would also like to, I really like that in this conference, there were also deep talks. I mean, kind of university level, we can say, talks, which were actually, again, very interesting. One of that was Belen Ramirez's workshop on psycholinguistics. And this is something that I can personally relate to, because I have a degree in linguistics, my first degree in linguistics, and then I'm doing this master's in English and Spanish as foreign languages. So this is something that we have looked at during our courses at university, and I think that psycholinguistics is something that we all as teachers have to consider and investigate and research and implement. Then there were some insights. I got some insights because I'm kind of interested in expanding my teaching career, and so I deliberately, on purpose, attended an workshop on becoming an independent ELT writer by Jennifer Dobson and Michelle Wergen. So they gave me like really us, not just me. They gave us really practical tricks, we can call them, practical advice on how to actually start becoming an independent ELT writer, and just how to start off, because and what are the practical moments are in this profession, and what we have to consider, and yeah, they shared their own experience, and this was also very valuable. Yeah. And I would also like to mention Nicholas Franklin's workshop on sound parallelism in the English classroom, because it actually like opened my eyes to some new concept that I seriously never knew about, like allophony and euphony. Because although I have a degree, a linguistics degree, I was like, okay, this is something really new and extremely practical, because English learners, they tend to ask a lot of questions. But why is that? Why is like that? But why does this? Why do we say this? Why don't we say that? And this actually answers most of these kinds of questions. And actually, yeah, now I look at the English language with different eyes, with different view, because it just was really enlightening. Yeah, enlightening workshop and talk. I also really liked the whole the forum that I attended, the forum on the issue of native and non-native teachers. There was a debate that was moderated by some professionals. Sorry, I don't remember their names. One of them was Susan Holden, and I'm just going to tell you, and the other was Andreas Grundtvig. Yeah. Special thanks to them, because they get to share their experiences, and it was like some really, I felt like, wow, this is something that everybody should know about. Everybody should just come into this debate and join us, and everybody has to participate and say out loud what they want, because there is this debate on non-native and native speaker issue. And because I have experienced it myself, and because I was discriminated a lot of times against my the fact that I'm not a native speaker. I was just rejected a lot of job offers just on the grounds of being non-native, and so I happily participated in this debate, in this forum. And I was also happy to actually to get to know so many other opinions and some other experiences, because we were teachers from different countries, some even native and non-native. And when you get to hear other point of view, you just something changes, and then you start to consider different things. And of course, you ask yourself more questions, and you reflect on these issues that are actually very relevant to you, very relevant to your experience. And I'm happy that the one of the native speakers, which was Susan Holden, she raised this question, she raised this issue, and she wanted to she wanted to discuss, yes, because it's not that like there's still a lot of prejudice when it comes to native speakerism. We can say, the question of being native and non-native, and we can see nowadays a lot of ads saying like native speakers, in our school there are native speakers, and and I was happy that some really qualified and very qualified and professional and extremely skillful teachers, and professionals generally in this sphere, in this field, they are willing to hear our opinions and to consider our opinions, and that was extremely valuable, and I really appreciate that experience, that they have created that. And I really hope that there is something fruitful and interesting going to come out of this debate, and we can see more and more people getting into this and starting to see at it at different angles, not just as one side of an angle being like native speakers are the best. There is no best teacher as a native speaker. So this is something that I'm really grateful for. And yeah, to sum it all up, I can say that this experience, this conference, this convention, as I have already said, was really a highlight of my, not only of March, the month of March, but also I can really say now the whole year. Yeah, because of these experiences and knowledge and people and insights that I was happy and lucky to get, yeah, to receive. So for this, I am really grateful, and I really appreciate TESOL-Spain for this opportunity. And thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you in the next TESOL convention. Goodbye.